Hi everyone, welcome back to Coding with Carl. This is the Zero to Android show, the show where I go from zero experience with Android development to hopefully full-on Android developer guy. Yep. Okay, so if you are new to the show, you can check out this Coding with Carl channel on YouTube, and in the Zero to Android playlist down here, you can find all the back episodes of this show. And after this one's finished, I'll do my best to get it online as fast as possible. We are building a focus tracker, if you like, an app that allows you to track the amount of hours you put into a certain goal by allocating slots throughout your day to tasks which have goals associated with them. Yeah, I guess that's the elevator pitch. The point we're at now, we can now pick a slot and add something to it. We can do like 15, 30, and I bet you anything this breaks. So let's say tomorrow morning at 7 AM, I'll do my morning routine here. Be an hour long, and there's no goal attached to that, and that will populate this slot. What we want to do is we want to have a list of things that occur at regular intervals. So that's where we are. We're working on this schedule tasks activity here, and we're very close to getting it working. So right now we can say every day at 8 AM for 1 hour we'll do the morning routine with no goal. And I wish I hadn't done that because I probably just screwed up the database. But what we want to happen there is that every morning we'll scroll across, and at 8 AM we'll see that pre-populated in our tracker or planner, I guess you'd call it here. And let's get straight into it, because I do burn a lot of time explaining this every episode, and I'm sure that if you are watching, you're probably familiar with all this anyway. So where did we leave off yesterday? Here. Carl, pick up here. ZT. Okay. So if it's a specific day of the week, we need to see if it's applicable. So yeah, what we were doing is we've stored, at this point we've stored it into, have we? Yeah, at this point we've stored it into the prototype database table here. And then we have queried that. Yeah, so in the goal activity we stored a row in the prototype table, and then when we come down, yes, right, I'm with it now. So at that point we call this function populate slots for prototype with a prototype ID. With that prototype ID we can select everything we need from this table, which is all those columns here. And then because we just created it, we need to populate it for, let's say, 30 days into the future. So let's start with that. So here we have, if prototype is day of week, then if it's every day, make a slot. Okay, so it's every day, and in that case we need to, yeah, because we're already in the for loop here, right? So this is going to do 30 days into the future. So here we just need to do an insert. So I guess it's focus db. Have we got a db? We've got the db. db.insert, and we'll need to, where else are we creating a slot? Goal activity. Store goal. So we're doing an insert into the slot table here. We could steal this code. Focus lib. And put it in here. So content values, we're going to need that. Size 4, timestamp, goal ID, task ID, and slot size. So what we need to do is get these values. So the first thing we need to do is we need to get the top of day, which we have, starting TS. And it's going to be from now, isn't it? So I'm guessing this timestamp, let's do it here. I'm going to say int top of working day, and that's going to be the start TS, starting timestamp plus I times 84,600, 24 times 60 times 60, 86,400. I always get those mixed up. You know what? It might be worth me making a to-do just to check that I haven't got any 84,600s in there. Run a search to see if we have anything that is 84,600. Is that right? Because it should be 86,400. Yep. Okay, so that should give us the start position for the day. That's right, and it'll start with today because, yeah, that's good. So timestamp, that one's easy. That's going to be working, top of working day, isn't it? Goal ID, okay, so we got that from the cursor, didn't we? And it is 0, 1, 2. So that's going to be db dot, no it's not, it's going to be cursor dot get int 2. Task ID is going to be the same but 1, so y to there. P, and replace that with 3. And slot size, we got that too, did we? Yes, that is column index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. And I believe it should be in my 0 register. There we go. R6. And then we insert that into the slot table. That should work fine. That's good, that's that one done. Okay, so next, if it's a specific day of the week, we need to see if it's applicable. How do we do that? We will have to find out what day of the week smartest thing to do is Google it. Calculate day of the week from Unix timestamp. Problem you ask is reasonably easy compared to how ridiculously complicated other date time functions can be. Unix time is defined as the number of seconds elapsed after January the 1st, 1970 at midnight UTC. You can look up the calendar. You can look up a calendar to find that 1970-01-01 was a Thursday. Therefore, there are 24 times 60 times 60, which we know is 86,400 seconds in a day. Therefore, values 0 to 86,399 are Thursday. 86,400 to they're aligned at 0. Suppose T is your Unix timestamp, then floor T divided by 86,400 tells you the number of days after 1970-01-01. Thursday, January 1st. 1 equals Friday, January 2nd equals 2 equals Saturday. add 4 and modulo 7. Now 0 to 4, 1 to 5, 2 to 6. Yeah, this seems sensible. In summary, day of the week equals floor t divided by 86,400 plus 4 mod 7. This assumes that you want the day of the week in UTC. If you want to calculate it for another time zone, you need to perform some addition or subtraction of hours and minutes on T first. Okay, so... Zero is Thursday. So the plus 4 takes us to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So Monday would be 1. And we've got Sunday as 1. Naught to 4, 1 to 5, 2 to 6. 4 to 1. 3 to 0. Okay, I'd like to figure this out some. I mean, I'm happy with that formula, but I'm not sure whether Monday is the first day of the week or Sunday is. Okay, nothing from mumsnet.com. That's surprising because, you know, I would assume that Sunday's the first week. Oh, Sunday is the 7th, the last day of the week. Well, we should go with the ISO standard, I think. So Monday would be the first day of the week. So what we need to do is change the values in here. Proto operation options. Sunday needs to be the last day. So would that mean then that 0 would fall on a Monday? Because Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yes, it would. Okay. That's good enough for me. Focus lib. So, day of the week. Int current or working day of week equals so we do an integer on why do we need to floor it? Why would there be a remainder? And it's going to do integer math on it anyway, so I don't think we need to do that. So I think it's just working timestamp divided by 86,400. Nearly did it again. So we've got that, and that will take precedence. So we don't need to do the plus 4 will come last, and it's all of that modulo 7. Hopefully. And we'll run a debug on that just to make sure. And then we need the inputs variable, which is up here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be if working day of week equals cursor dot get int 4. Then we know it's the right day of the week and we create a slot. Right. And that is all the same. So look what we've got here. We've got the same code being repeated twice. What we could do is we could just calculate this variable, even though we don't need it. up here, and then do if input is 0 or working day of the week equals everything inside these brackets. And we'll just put that on a new line. And that is more concise. And there's less scope for forgetting to do something that we should do. So if it is zero or working day of week is right, so we've got input there as well, so we can make it even more concise because we can do inputs equals working day of week, get rid of everything up to there, and then we can bring that back up. That looks okay to me. Right, and that should be it. And then from there we go back to the planner activity. So run a loop for every day between now and the end of the current 60-day window. 30 really, because we're only concerned with the future. Done. Check if past prototype is applicable to said date. If it isn't, create a slot for it. So that's okay. So the first thing we are doing here is building a query to get the prototype from the table. If we get it, then we loop between now local min-my and the end of the 30-day window. Move to first, calculate some things, loop between 0 and 30, and that looks good to me. So let's just put a log entry in here, log.i, not yet, supporting other modes. Obviously we need to have a tag in there, and let's put a big fat to do in there. To do, support them. Okay. And then what do we do from here? From here we outbound. So we'll do intent, outbound. I'm sure I've already done this once. Intent equals new intent. That's going to be context and oh, maybe we don't do that here. Yeah, I think we just return true. We don't return anything, do we, because it's void. Yeah. All right, so let's jump back to the goal activity and we'll see that we do run the job that will populate. So that's focus lib dot populate slots for prototype, and we need the ID from this. So int proto, I wish it didn't do that. Int proto ID equals, and then here we'll do context was first, wasn't it? So that was this, and then we had proto ID. And then we go back to the planner activity. Get rid of that to do. Yeah, what's the problem with this now? Long, right, so int. Wrong place, Carl. There. All right. Do you think that might work? Let's see. In the chat, Stacy, hi. Hi, Stacy, how are you? Sorry, I didn't see that. Bobby says hello. Say hi to Bobby for me. Oh, okay, where are we? So, schedule task. Every day at 9 AM for 1 hour. Morning routine. And I would be very surprised if this worked, and it hasn't. That's Did it even add it to today? No. Okay, let's nuke the database. Settings. Apps and notifications. App info. 10K. Storage. Clear data. Okay. So we should have fresh data now. We'll launch the app in debug mode. So that we can see what is going on with this. So here we go. We have a breakpoint. Is it a good idea to do it here? Yeah, let's step through from here. So we'll do F8 there. Or not. We've already got one there. So let's create a new scheduled task then. Every day at 6, we'll start at 6 for 1 hour. Okay, so where did we stop? We stopped at translate start time. And that's fine, I think, because 21,600 divided by 60 divided by 60 is 6, which is 6 AM. Perfect. So we'll step over this one. And I think we'll remove this breakpoint actually as well. Resume. Okay, so we need a new task. Morning. Wow. Did you see that? Undo. Morning. Routine. No goal. And now we've stopped at this finalize workflow. So let's have a look. Over. Oh, I did step into. I didn't want to do that. Step out. There we go. That's over, is it? Step over there. Okay, so if it's create slot, it's not. So we come down to here. Step over. Get the original intent. The original intent has the following properties. Extras here. I guess we can't inspect them the way I thought we could. That's okay because we are pulling out everything we need here, so we should be able to see input is 2. Input is 0. Oh yes, because we did every day, yeah. Slot size should be 2 as it is. Start seconds 21,600. That's good. Okay, next. So we're creating this new values. And then we should probably check that that insert actually works. Can't remember how you do that. I think it's not sure what it returns. Let's have a look. So we'll do Android SQLite database insert. There. Come on. What is going on? Do you know what? I'll read the code instead. Return -1 if an error occurred. So if proto ID equals -1, log.e call problem creating prototype, and we'll return false. Return null. What does this function return? It returns nothing. Okay. So let's see what happened with that, because we'll get proto ID after we run this line. Wow. That's not compiled, so that shouldn't be there, but it is. Okay. And we jump straight over that, which is not what I wanted. But it does take us back to the planner activity. But there's nothing there. Let's just go beyond and force it to re-render. It's not there either. Okay, so it's not, the problem isn't there, the problem is in this finalize workflow function. But we didn't get to it, did we? Oh no, it's not. The problem is in this function, populate slots for prototype, which is in focus lib. So let's create a new breakpoint there and rerun this. What do we have? What do we have? We have to do this. This time we'll do it at 7 AM just in case there's any junk in the database right now. We'll do it for 1 hour. Morning routine, no goal. Here we are, that's the wrong one. We want the next one, so we'll resume. Okay, here we are again. So let's start stepping through and see. Everything looks fine there. That should give us a cursor. It does. Cursor should have some kind of data. Count is 1. So that means we got the prototype row. We move to first. We get the starting TS. Alright, and then we get the input. Input is 0, which means every day, that's fine. So top of working day, we get that one. That should be fine because we tested that function over and over again. Working day of week equals 2, which means that we should be on Wednesday right now, which we are, so that's working as well. So if, so what was this? We jumped straight over that then. And it should have triggered because if that should be operation, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, operation. Operation is not here. Yeah, of course it isn't, idiot. Let's evaluate that then, I guess. Result equals 0. And focus lib prototype day of week should be 0. It's not, it's 1. Okay, so that was probably the issue. Let's run it again. We go to Twitch. Twitch it over here. It's a good name. Very difficult to read. Ew, gross. Move on to Kotlin, man. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Java is gross. It is. Okay. but this is an educational stream, and I'm trying to learn it, and I'm sharing my pain with you all. Another worst thing about it is that this IDE grinds to a halt. And it grinds to a halt so badly that I actually have to restart my machine. That should not happen on Unix systems. Okay, right, so we can jump over that one. The application is running. What did I do? I want to jump over that one. I should have another breakpoint. It's not being fired. Am I not running in debug mode? Where's that first breakpoint? Let's get rid of that. So I should have one in focus lib. Yeah, I've got one there, look. That's the one I want to fire. Schedule tasks every day. I must do it at 10 this time for an hour. Morning routine, no goal. Big problem. Error, inserting slot size 2, goal equals null, task timestamp. So that is in unique constraint failed. Error inserting. Problem creating prototype. Unique constraint failed. Task ID and goal ID. Ah, that is a problem. That unique constraint is a problem because, okay, what's happening here is we added a unique constraint to this table. So if you imagine that each scheduled task has a task ID and a goal ID, and I mistakenly believed that that could be a unique key or an index for this. Now what I really should have done is the index on those 4 things, because otherwise I can't do the same scheduled task twice a day. I couldn't do it at 7 AM and then again at 10. So I think what we need to do, operation, and then if I want to do it more than once a day, actually this is all wrong, because really this whole thing is the key. And that's probably really bad form, but that is the case. Input is important, start seconds is important, slot size is important. So it should have been like that. Okay, let's sort that out then. DB. Right, where are we? Here is the problem. Goal ID, operation, input, start seconds, and slot size. So now we have a compound key on all of them, so we want these rows to be unique in their entirety. And that doesn't make it very easy to look these things up, but hey, we're going to query the whole table when we do the population anyway, so yeah. Okay, that means we have to nuke our data yet again. And we'll debug again. That should restart the database for us. Focus lib. Okay, so let's try again. We'll start at the 6 AM slot. 6, duration 1 hour. New task, morning routine. Create. No goal. Here we are. So let's start jumping through then. List columns, that's okay. 7 strings in there. Where? So we've been through all this before, right? We know that it should give us the right one, proto ID one. And then what we want to see now is it jump inside this switch, because it should recognize, yep, there we go. And input is 0, so it should jump inside again, which it has. And then it should create this and then carry on doing it for 30 days. Okay, so here we are. It hasn't created it at 6 AM for today. Or maybe it has and it just hasn't re-rendered this page. It's not there either. It's not there either. Not there either. Not there. Not there. Something went wrong. Maybe it was the insert. Int slot ID equals db.insert, and we'll have to cast that to an integer. Okay. This kind of sucks. Let's just go through that in a little bit more detail this time, and we'll do it at 7 AM. Schedule tasks again, 7 AM, 1 hour, select, morning routine, no goal. Here we are again. Jump down into here. Okay, so let's get the content values. We have size is 3. And we have goal ID equals -1. That's not right. Task equals 0. Goal ID is -1. Goal ID is -1. It should be null. Is that the problem? I've come across this before, where I've allowed null on the goal ID, and it screwed me up. Why is goal ID getting written in as -1? Don't need that open, do I? I need goal activity. And what we're doing is we're writing into here Alright, so it's not that one actually. That one's fine. It's that one. Are we writing -1 into the prototype table? Let's just jump back to focus lib and see what happens after this. So we'll jump over. Alright, so now we have goal ID is -1, which is wrong. Slot size is 2, which is right. Task ID equals 0, which is also wrong. And timestamp SQLite row ID 0. Always greater than 0. So we've got a problem with task ID as well. That should not be 0. And not 1. Task ID should be the first one. That's wrong then, isn't it? Goal ID 2, task ID 1, slot size 6. Slot size is correct, so that's alright. That's just going to fail horribly. Let's run it again. So what was the last one we did? 7 AM? Let's do 8 AM this time. Eight, 1 hour. Morning routine, no goal. Let's figure out first of all why goal ID is -1. It's already -1 by the time we get to here. So where is goal ID coming from? Right, there, nope, there. So we're passing it through to finalize workflow. And we're passing it through from the no goal, which is here. So goal ID here, does that mean that this is coming back as, look at this. Yeah, of course. And I made a note of this yesterday. This is so stupid of me. Okay, so what we're doing is we are creating the slot twice. We're inserting into the slot table here. We're inserting into the slot table here. At the end of both of the goal. And we shouldn't be, should we? Because we should only be writing into the slot table when we finalize. So yeah, we're inserting into the slot table here. So maybe either so what's happening here is we're actually, instead of a goal ID, this is a slot ID, and that's causing the problem. But that slot ID is -1 because this insert failed, and this insert failed because of something else, which is more worrying. Alright, so in this case, what we need to do here is just this dot finalize workflow null, and we can't pass null, so it needs to be 0. Alright, and then this goal ID here, when we insert into the slot table, we need to say if goal ID is not equal to null or 0, then we do a put null, else this, okay, and then we're creating a slot there, but we're also creating, so we don't need that either. We're also creating a slot here. So that creates a goal, which is what we want to do. Let's call that goal ID instead. This we don't want to do, and this is exactly the same. Yeah. So that's better. And let's check the adapter calls finalize workflow with a goal ID, which means that let's look at the adapter. It's this on click, so we move to position, we get the goal ID, and then we send it through to the finalize workflow. Okay. That looks more sensible to me. And we should not be getting a -1 on that, but we might be. So this we need to check. We need to do slot ID equals int db.insert, and that's integer, all right? And then we need to check that if slot ID equals -1 log.e could not create. Do you know what? I always do this. Call could not create slot. Return. So can't do anything if we didn't create it. So that handles the creation of slots. And then if we come down to, where's my other one gone? Mode. Else, if it's a schedule activity, then we don't create any slots. We create a prototype and then we pass the prototype ID into there, right? Okay, let's nuke the data again and try again. Schedule tasks, 6 AM, 1 hour, go, morning routine, create, no goal, and that puts us back here. And let's just start stepping through and see what happens. So goal ID equals 0. That's about right, isn't it? So now we're going to insert 0 into here, which we don't want to do. We want to be able to, we need to do the same thing again. We need to do if goal ID equals 0, then put null. Goal ID else this. Okay, that should be okay. And then what happens when we populate slots for prototype? We should get a null out of this now, but let's just make sure. All right, schedule tasks. This might be the one, guys. 8 AM, 30 minutes, morning routine, no goal. We are in populate slots for prototype. We are going to jump ahead a bit. So we got the cursor. Can I inspect this cursor? Columns. Is it in here, mQuery? No. Is it in mDataset observable? No. Is it in the extras? Nope. Where is that data? Where are you holding your data? Let's do, so we've done move to first then, and position is now 0. Current row ID is 0. Weird. I guess we just plod on through, and let's get to here and we can look directly at the values and see what's going on. So the other thing we've got is this goal ID thing again. Goal ID is 0, look. And it should be null. So it keeps coming back to haunt us, this. Task ID is 1, slot size. So these are all looking a lot more sensible now, but we've still got this same issue here, where if goal ID, and you know what, let's store this because we're doing it in a couple of different places. Wow, what did I just do? C? No? No, nothing? Okay. C, goal ID. P. Equals 0. Let's do that there. Then values dot put null goal ID else. Do that. Okay, that should hopefully work. Let's run it again. Do it at 11 AM this time. Question from Adon FPS. Hi Col, would you recommend Java to beginner programmers? Also, what are some good sites for tips, guides, etc.? Hi Adon. I would absolutely not recommend Java for beginner programmers. Surprisingly, the programming language that I would recommend for beginner programmers is C, because I think, and I wish to God I had started with C, but I started with JavaScript. C gives you a better grasp of what programming actually is. Java does not. C is about as close to the hardware, the actual computer, as you're going to get. Now, the whole point of programming is to manipulate, translate, and move data around. That's it. That's all programming is. It's the manipulation of data. And languages like Java make things so convoluted and so abstract that they distract you from thinking about what is actually happening on the actual hardware of the actual machine you are using. So no, absolutely not. Do not learn Java as your first language. Learn a language that connects you to the computer. As for learning C, I completely recommend, there's a free ebook online called Learn C the Hard Way, and it's by Zed Shaw, and he is brilliant. He's very good. He's a very good programmer, and he's got a very good grasp on the problems in the industry and the problems with becoming a programmer. Check that out. Also, if you want to see somebody who's actually really good at doing what I'm doing right now, which is streaming and teaching, check out Casey Muratori's show Handmade Hero, where he makes a computer game on Windows in C from scratch. He has the first few videos in his series are just an overview of coding in C on Windows, and it's pretty much interchangeable with Mac, or a lot of the stuff he teaches is just basic C syntax, and that is a really good overview. So check those out if you're interested. I hope that answered your question. I see C# or C++, there are a lot of C's. Yeah, just C, just standard C. C++ is object-oriented, and object-oriented is an abstraction and therefore takes you away from the hardware in most cases. And C# is something I've got no experience with, but as far as I understand it, it runs on top of Microsoft's virtual machine, which is further away from the hardware again. So similar syntax, very different technologies. Amin start. And how would you compare C to C++? Do you think starting with C++ is acceptable as an alternative to C? It is, as long as you stay away from the object-oriented side of things. Don't learn anything about object-oriented programming when you're starting out, or you will hate programming. Unless, well, it will just give you the wrong impression of what programming actually is. The whole object-oriented paradigm, to me, is just a way of creating billable man-hours. It's an effort to abstract away machine language, you know, interacting with the CPU. It's a way to humanize or make solving problems easier to read for humans, or easier to digest for humans. Well, you're not working with a human, you're working with a machine. So therefore, learn what the machine is doing, and you'll write better. You'll be a better programmer, even when you're doing code in Java or some horrible object-oriented language. You'll try to steer away from the things that take you away from what's actually going on, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do within the bounds of Java on this stream. Good questions, guys. Thank you for that. I hope you're happy with the answers. So where were we? What was I doing? I was running this again in debug mode. The compilation has failed because I've done something bad. I forgot a semicolon. There we go. You're very welcome, by the way. Okay, let's give this one more shot, and hopefully we can end the stream on a high. 11 o'clock. Should we do it at 12, just in case we hit that unit constraint? 1 hour. Select task, morning routine, no goal. Here we go. So we'll jump down, hopefully, into this case. Yep. We will start generating our content values and stop here. Let's have a look at those values and see if they are sensible. M values, there we go. Slot size 2, which is 1 hour, that's right. Goal ID is null, that's correct because we selected no goal. Task ID 1, that's probably the case because there's only one task in our table. Timestamp looks right, and hopefully that insert will win. Okay, did we get slot ID? Couldn't tell because I couldn't stop after it, but I can't see any reason why that wouldn't have worked. Let's run it through the 30 days and see what happens. Nothing there. Do you know the biggest problem I have with this is not being able to browse things in my database. And I found this development tools thing in while I was just messing around the other day, and I wondered whether I might have a way of looking inside the database. Package browser, is 10K in here? There. Can I have a look in the database, please? Doesn't look like it, does it? Oh, that kind of sucks. Alright, let's have a look at this slot ID. I need to do something with it, so in foo equals slot ID. That should allow me to set a breakpoint there and see what happened. right? Hopefully. Let's just clear the data one more time. Where is it? There. Storage, clear data. There we go. Have a fresh database now. I'm going to hopefully figure out what's going on with this. Is it because we missed a field, maybe? I'd like to think not. Schedule tasks, 6 AM. 1 hour. Morning. Create new goal. And here we are back again. So this, we want to go all the way down now to here. Slot ID equals 1. So it has created the slot. Let's run it through one more time. So let's go through the first iteration. So that should fire again. And let's run it through again because I missed the slot ID there. Slot ID equals 3. So it is writing into the slot table. Resume, 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 resume. It's definitely writing into it. So let's run it through and figure out what's going on. Is it because it's just not rendering those slots? Maybe the timestamp's wrong. They aren't there. Oh, sorry. New question from Adon FPS. Thanks for the answer, mate. Also, what about Python? To be honest with you, I started learning that language as a beginner. Didn't really get that much into it, but it seems like an easy medium language. It depends. I've used a lot of Python. I find the string manipulation stuff in Python to be quite useful. But again, I think you'd have more fun messing around in a low-level language than you would in a high-level language like Python. You can probably do a lot of stuff in Python as a beginner, and it'll make you feel confident, but I think you'll also make a lot more mistakes because you're not as... Python doesn't punish you as hard for your mistakes as a language like C does. So yeah, I mean, if you just want to dabble around and you want to play around and use Python, sure, it's an easy language to learn. The syntax is quite different from C-style languages, and a lot of the languages you'll be using if you want to do app development, whether it's web apps or Android apps or iOS apps, is going to be a sort of C-style syntax. Objective-C is C with objects, and the syntax is slightly different, but it's still very much like C. And Java is a very similar to C in syntax. Whereas Python, the problem I've just had with the semicolon, for example, in Python, everything has to be indented properly. So indentation problems can be just as frustrating in Python as semicolon problems when you're a beginner. And it is things like that you'll spend half an hour scratching your head at. You know, you're not going to get as comprehensive a error or as a Googleable error as you would by the C compiler failing. I don't know, it's my personal recommendation to learn a low-level language first, but by all means, if you want to start messing around, probably easier to get started with JavaScript than it is with Python, I think, just because you've got the Chrome debug tools in Chrome, and those make things really easy to figure out. So I wish I could figure out what was going on with this. It's creating the slots because we're seeing them, right? And then after it's created them, it's not rendering them. And that's probably because the timestamp, the only thing I can think of is the timestamp is wrong. So let's run through one more time and we'll look at the timestamps and figure out what the hell's going on. Schedule tasks. Every day at 8 AM for 1 hour. Morning, no goal. Here we are. So top of working day. Copy value. Trusty epoch converter is your best friend always. Tuesday, 8th of May. So Wednesday, and that's midnight GMT, where I am in my time zone, which is right. Hang on. We are writing them in at midnight, not at the time that they should be. That's good. So that means that I need to add the start seconds, which are in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are in position 6. So it's going to be top of working day plus cursor.getInt 6. Alright, so the timestamp should be correct now. And maybe they were there the whole time, I just wasn't scrolling far enough up. I wasn't going up to midnight. Okay, so that hopefully will be better. Let's just run the app normally, because I have a feeling we are very close to nailing this mother. Did that compile and run? Okay. One more time. Schedule tasks every day at midday for 1 hour. Do this, no goal. Please be there. It's not there. But we did get it there. So it did go into midnight. 0, 1. Do you know what? Int seconds offset equals cursor.getInt 6. And let's just check that one more time. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's slot size. I want 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I do. Okay. Got a good feeling about this. I know I've said that 7 times now, but fingers crossed. I'm going to wipe the data. Apps. Not display. Apps and notifications. App info. 10K. Storage. Clear data. Okay. Run it. Alright, here we go. Schedule tasks every morning at 7 AM for 1 hour. We're going to do the morning routine. No goal. It's not there. It's gone into midnight again. And you know why? Do you know why? Because I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot because I forgot, after I'd created the seconds offset variable, to use it. All I did was add 6 seconds onto midnight. Okay. One more time. This is the one. And then I'm going to end the stream. So if anyone's got any more questions for me, now is the time to put them in the chat. Here we go. Schedule tasks. Every day. 8 AM. 1 hour. Morning routine. Go. Please be there. There it is. It's there. It's there. It's there. We are golden. Look at that. All the way up. Schedule tasks. Okay, so what if, and it'll be a miracle if this works, but what if every Monday at 10:30 I wanted to take my mother out for dinner? Okay, every day of week on a Monday at 10 a.m. for 2 hours, take mom to lunch or breakfast. I guess it's kind of, is it? Yeah, it's breakfast, isn't it? It's not really brunch. Okay, create, no goal. So today is Wednesday, so we need to go to, it's not there, that's good. But we do have our morning routine. Tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, not there. So that's not working. We need to fix that next time. That's okay, that's not a huge problem. It's gone into Tuesday instead, which means we're off by 1. We're off by 1 because of this, maybe? The fact that Monday is 0 instead of 1. You know what? I don't like to end the stream on a problem, so let's see if we can fix that. It's Thursday tomorrow, right? So what if every Thursday I had lunch with my dad? Thursday noon, lunch with dad. Accept, no goal. Tomorrow, noon, lunch with dad. Friday, it's not there. Saturday, it's not there. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, not there. Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, that hasn't worked properly. Okay, we'll fix that tomorrow. Okay, so we're already right into the slot table into fix that one. Pre-fill tasks. Done that. This is where we have a problem. The problem is day of week operator isn't working properly. So that's what we'll fix tomorrow night. Everything else is fine. So let's check our changes into version control because we are near the end of the stream. So I'm going to put in a to-do here. Day of week isn't working properly. Then in caps, pick up here. Version control, commit. End of episode 37, which means we are now 37 hours strong with Java and Android. Schedule tasks now working for the everyday operator. Let's leave it at that. Nothing else to say really, is there? Commit, commit, all done. Okay guys, it's been an absolute pleasure coding with you today. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you picked up the stream late and you want to see the rest of the series or the rest of this episode, you can go to YouTube, the Coding with Carl channel and the 0 to Android playlist, wherein you will find all the previous episodes of this show, and this one will be uploaded at some point in the next 6-7 hours. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, follow me on Twitch, drop me a like. All that stuff helps. And I will be back tomorrow at, it's Thursday, so it'll be 7:30 PM UK time. Yeah, great. Thank you all again. Take care. Have fun, write code, and don't be intimidated by things like Java or Android or any of the other crap. Okay. Night, guys. Bye.